Hello, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Outside the Box with me, your host, Mary Hooks. And today I have a special guest, Renee. Say hello to our audience.
Hello, everyone.
Awesome. So listen, y'all. So yes, get your coffee, get your Kool-Aid, whatever it is that helps you relax. Go ahead and grab that so you can tune in to this amazing conversation that me and Renee will be having. And today we do just want to talk about overcoming hardship and how we overcome hardship and what does that look like, practical steps. What do people say when you're faced in a hard situation? How do people treat you? So we want to get down into the nitty gritty because I do want you to understand through this podcast that we are real people, you know, that we go through things, we experience things, but I want through this experience and through our testimonies, you can understand that you too can overcome and just give you hope that there is joy on the other side of whatever situation you may be facing with. So let's go ahead and jump in. So when faced with tough challenges in life, what do you do like to help yourself in challenging situations?
Well, I normally I close off from everybody. Like, for real. Like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to be bothered. I'm going to watch me some sermons, listen to me some gospel music, but it's really just me being in my own space.
Okay, and so it sounds like you're self-isolating. So with self-isolating, do you think that that's healthy?
I don't know. Maybe not. It's just something I've always done since a little girl.
Yeah, so fun fact, me and Renee are actually sisters, and so we do kind of, in that way, self-isolate, but I mean, I would say the reason why we do that is because we had a strong mom, for once. She taught us to handle your business, handle your problems, take care of your responsibilities or anything that you're dealing with, and so that kind of pushed us into, as we grew
like
and coming into adults.
Yeah, not really depending on somebody. We just like cope with everything ourselves. I don't know. I mean, that's how we see Mama do it, though.
Yeah, we definitely seen her just kind of like kid up and keep going.
Yeah.
We never really seen her like sad and down about anything. She just constantly was mom. She constantly showed up.
That's true.
Every day she was there. I mean, we would come home from school and first of all, she was an entrepreneur and she was working around the clock. And then we would come home from school and it was always a hot meal on the stove. It was never put some noodles on or microwave. Like, no, it was a home cooked meal. I'm talking about peeling potatoes, boiling them, cutting them to make mashed potatoes. I mean, the woman was phenomenal. I can't say she wasn't, right? But I can say that she taught us independence. One thing that I've always remember her saying was, if you wanted something,
go get it.
Go get it. If you wanted something, she would say, you can have anything that you want in this world. You just have to work for it.
Yeah.
So what our mother taught us was work ethic. So with dealing with hardship and things in life, would you say it's hard for you to ask for help? I know for me, I don't ask for help. Like, if people don't offer, I don't ask.
I'm not gonna ask. No, I'm being serious.
Yeah. No, for real. So I don't ask either, but I've learned just by like having community outside of family and things like that it's okay to ask for help in times of hardship.
Yeah, I think it's like
okay.
For me, it's like a prideful thing because I'm used to doing everything for myself, and so I feel like if I have to ask somebody for something or get help from somebody, it makes me feel like I failed myself.
That's good.
Yeah.
So it's like a sense of pride, and you feel like. So do you think you should just be able to handle everything on your own?
Yeah, because I mean, from getting help from people, like getting assistance or whatever, with me, on why I'm not big on asking people is because they like to throw it back in your face. Like, oh, I did this for you, or you have this because of me, or you're this far because of me. And it'd be like, no, you were kind of like a
You
help.
touched my hand. You want to hold my hand?
No.
Oh, you was just explaining. Okay.
But yeah, You know, I just don't like that. Like, I don't like, because if I do something for somebody, I'm not finna say, oh, well, you got that new car because of me. Like, no, you got that because you still work for it. I may have helped you in some aspect of helping you with passing a road test or passing the ring test or, you know, helped you with some type of funds to go towards the car, but that's not all on me. I'm not finna, like, take somebody light away from them. Like, make them feel like, oh, you only got it because of me. Like, I don't like that feeling.
So, and so you've experienced that.
Yeah, so I just
where
choose
people
not
like
to.
throw stuff in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably did too, but I don't care. Like I don't really care what people say because I understand like God's not gonna come down and do anything. Like He's going to use people, and so maybe at that point in time when I needed something, maybe that person was just the person that God used, you know, in that season, and so
That makes sense.
They don't get the credit for it anyway, even if they want to feel like, you know, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have this. But I also know that hey, God knows how to deal with people that do that too, you know, because we can all be up in one season and down in one season too.
That's true.
You know, the same person. That's why I'm big on like not burning bridges and stuff like that, and just being mindful of how I treat people. Even when I exit certain situations, things that I could say, I don't say. Things that I could do, I don't do, because you never know when you have to come back across paths with somebody. And so I just like to kind of leave in good standing with people. I don't want to hurt and, you know, do those kind of things, bash people. I leave gracefully from things because we never know how life can turn, you know. No, so for people that do that to you, I think, or people that have done it to us, or any of you or that's anybody, watching, you know, watching and listening, if that's happening to you, or, you know, you feel like you don't want to ask for help because somebody will throw it back up in your face, you know, I'm going to still ask for help though. Because what I've learned, like, I've learned to be independent from my parents. I would say our dad too, but more so my mom. Like, we've learned to be independent, but, like, you could really need something and somebody could have the thing that you need, and because you won't open up your mouth and ask for it, they won't give it to you because you ain't asked them. You know what I mean?
That's true. But that's when, me, personally, I'm going to figure out a way to get it myself.
Okay, here she is, so strong and mighty, Miss Independent. She
so I don't have to ask people. I mean, that's just me. Just because from my life lessons and my life experiences, it'd be like I only got to learn a lesson once. So like if I got to go through and people like basically, oh, I did this for you, it's just be like, no, I'm gonna just be like, forget it. I'm gonna figure it out myself before somebody can sit there and say, oh, I did it for you. Like, no, you didn't. I'm just figuring it out.
God did.
Because that's the thing. Like. I mean, yeah, God.
I mean, because if He used that person.
I mean, yeah, but if I don't, I mean, I get that. If He used that person, then yeah. But at the same time, it'd be like I don't like people feeling like they're doing for me.
Yeah.
Like they have bragging rights over me. I don't like that feeling. That would say that.
Okay, yeah. I get that too. So not to make light of it. So I get that. So it's more like a prideful thing. Because if somebody is saying that, then that's going to crush your pride, right? It'll crush your ego a little bit.
Yeah, make me feel like, well, dang. I have to watch my
Yes.
Like, dang. You know? But, I don't know. That's just me when it comes to getting help and asking for help. Like, I'm probably not going to ask for help.
Okay. Well, listen, y'all. I will ask. She said, Renee saying she won't ask. I've learned to ask, and like I said, it's a learning thing. You know, you have to learn to do something. Because I guess with me being a mom, so Renee doesn't have any kids. With me being a mom, it's like, will I really let my children? Because if I don't open up my mouth, say I can't do something, and I don't open up my mouth to get the help, then my kids go without. So it's like, is my pride am I so prideful within myself that I make my kids go without because I just refuse to ask for the help that I need? And so that's why I look at it that way. But thanks be unto God that every time I do say, hey, I need help, somebody is able to help me, and that's a blessing. So that's good. And then that's as far as like hardship. And I want y'all to really just like take out nuggets from this conversation that me and Renee are having. We have conversation all the time, and I dragged her onto this podcast literally today. I did, because she's like, no, I don't do that, and I'm just trying to help her get out of her comfort zone. And sometimes we have to do things that we don't like to do, because And to be honest, like this, I never wanted to do stuff like this, but I understand that I have been through so many things. The God has given me so much wisdom from the experiences that I've been through. Like, I didn't go through that stuff for myself. And so that's why I continuously get up and do stuff like this. And so my sister got a testimony. Look, she done been through things. She done experienced things. She has endured some things. And so God has just put her in a place, in a season where she can be outside the box. Where she can be outside the box, and he can use her as well in his timing. And so hardship happens to all of us. We all endure things. We all go through things. There's nobody perfect. There's nobody that has not experienced something in their life or will experience something in their life. Now, I know I'm going to get this wrong when I say it, but somebody said you either are going into a storm. Well, actually, I might get it right. You're either going into a storm, in the middle of a storm, or just came out of a storm. I've heard that somewhere. I can't quote them because I don't know. But, okay, so that lets us know right there that, hey, you know, hardship happens to everybody. Situation, circumstances, life is not a walk in the park. We will go through some things. And so I think that's important for people to know.
That is. I would say, as of right now, I'm in the midst of my storm. Where would you say you're at? And do you feel like you done come out of a storm?
Yeah, I feel like I've came out of a storm.
That's good.
I feel like I've came out of a storm, but now I'm in a place of like, now what you gonna do? Because God can bring you out. Oh, I feel my help. No, I'm just joking. I'm about to preach. I be trying to podcast, but God can bring you out of a storm, but then he will give you everything that you need, or he will give you a word. He will send a word to let you know what you need to be doing. And then it's like, I'm going to give you everything you need to do it. Now, are you going to obey? So I feel like, honestly, even with pulling out this camera and this ring light, sitting here on this couch and having this conversation, this is part of my obedience. Because I have no excuse. I came out the storm. He told me that he would take me out of the wilderness. So I'm out of the wilderness. So now what am I doing with the time he's given me?
Yeah.
Because he's giving me a lot of time. What am I doing with the resources he's giving me? Because he's giving me a lot of resources. There's nothing that I can honestly say would be stopping me from doing his will. And I know that I'm called to do what I'm doing.
That's true. Well, as of right now, I don't know what he called me to do. I'm just in the midst of everything. That's okay. True.
And so, in purpose, like, what is that thing that constantly keeps coming back up?
What you mean?
Like, we were talking about finding purpose and how do we know our purpose for our life and stuff. And I was like, it's the thing that no matter what you do, it's like that thing constantly comes up. No matter how far away you try to get from it, it's like that thing keeps following you in a sense.
I mean, I don't know. Life at one point was awesome. Life was going great. So I don't know what really changed.
Okay.
I really don't. I don't know, like, where I'm failing, you know? Like, where I'm falling at.
Well, so from experience, because I only speak on experience, I wouldn't say you're failing or you're falling, but I do know when you're at a place and you feel like life is great and you have no cares, you know, everything is flowing the way it needs to be flowing. You got your job, you got your career, everything's consistent, money isn't an issue from you, you're happy, you're all of these things, right? Sometimes God has to disrupt that thing to get our attention so that his will can be done. So I wouldn't say that you failed. I would just say that you graduated from that surface level that you once were on, that you were thriving in. And so because God wants to take you deeper in him, he had to disrupt your normal.
Yeah, because all of this is abnormal.
Yeah, but it's all going to work together for your good. And so even if you're listening and watching here, that's a good thing. Like Renee is saying, hey, my life was going good. My career was going good. Money wasn't my issue. I was happy. I was doing my thing. And then, boom, it just seemed like everything began to crumble down. And that don't mean that you failed. That doesn't mean that you weren't doing something right. That doesn't mean that you weren't being a good steward over what God has given you. But he will sometimes disrupt what it is that that's normal and what we're used to, so that he can have his way, so that he can take us deeper in him, so that he can, because God gets our attention like that. Like, I don't know about you, but every time God got my attention, something big had to happen. Because other times when he was just speaking, I didn't care. No, I'm serious. I'm serious, and I'm being honest, because people need to, like, this is outside the box, y'all. I am a woman who loves Jesus, but I'm going to be real, because it's not enough people being real about how they feel about things, or, oh, God was speaking and I was not listening, or I seen the red flags and I ignored them. Like, I'm going to be honest. And so God literally had to, like, you know my story, make me and my kids homeless, and our dog. Remember Thomas? Rest in peace to Thomas. But yeah, God had to make us homeless and just, like, really disrupt what I thought I knew, because I had a way for me. You know, I had a pattern for my life. I had a plan for my life. But God was like, no, that's not what I have for you. And so I'm gonna take you through some hard seasons. And you're going to endure some things. And you're going to go through some stuff, because you need to know that at rock bottom, I'm the only one that you can call on. And literally, when I got to rock bottom, God was the only one that I could call on. And not saying I didn't have a support system, but they wasn't able to support me the way that I needed it. Yeah. And that was just God's way of saying, hey, it's not about them. It's about me. And it's me. I'm showing you that this is me, God, trying to do something in Mary. Will you allow me to? Because God gives us choice. God doesn't force himself on us. So he's like, hey, would you allow me to come in and make all things new? Would you allow me to come in and do my plan for your life, miracle signs and wonders? And when I was obedient and allowed God the opportunity to come in, and then I followed direction moving forward, life has been, it's been better. I won't say all things has been well, because we do experience ups and downs in life. If y'all tuned into the first podcast, we talked about the roller coaster ride of life, the ups and downs of life. And so, yeah, you know, we still have ups and downs, but God is the anchor. And when you're anchored in God, you can't be shaken. So no matter what season, whether it's up or down, you won't be shaken. You'll be anchored in a solid foundation of Jesus Christ. Your thoughts?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's just like the situation I'm in, but was recently in. I mean, like y'all family, but the situation I was in, I really didn't have nobody. Like, I was literally by myself. I know you don't like me saying that, but I was literally by myself.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like, when I'm by myself and I'm in my head and I'm just praying to God and just asking him, like, well, why am I in this? Like, how can I get out of this? I mean, I had people who didn't really know me from a can of paint offer help to me that I really never thought would offer help to me.
Right.
But it was a help. Even though, like, once I got the help and got into that situation, it was still like, okay, well, this is not it. Like, I still have to get out of this in some shape, form, or fashion, but I was still trying to figure it out on my own. But I kind of did, like, step back and just really be like, whatever happens, happens. Like, however God is finna plan this out, like with finding a new job. When I say where I was just at, I still ain't heard back from none of them jobs I applied for, period. Mm-hmm. Like, no, nothing. Since I've been where I'm at now, I done got a few calls back. I done actually had an interview, and it's like stuff is falling into place. But I'm guessing I just needed to experience that last couple of months where I was at to know, or to get some type of understanding. I'm still trying to figure out the understanding a little, but I just know that I know where I was at is not the lifestyle I want. No.
So can you say you learned, though, like during that season where you felt alone and you felt like, you know, this isn't where I want to be, but people were nice enough to, like, do you feel like you learned something there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't have to share it, because I feel like that'd be too deep into personal stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned some lessons.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. Like, when we go through things, I think we're supposed to learn from it. And so as long as you can say, hey, when I was in this situation, faced with this situation, you know, I learned this. And I feel like that's where God is like, because he got to take us through stuff to grow us. Like we don't just become stronger, wiser, better for nothing. We endure things. So
yeah, we gotta
overcoming
go through the roller coasters.
Yeah.
Like, we really gotta go through life. I mean, cause one day I'll come out and tell my story. Just today ain't the day.
Today ain't the day. No, that's good though. That's good. I think that's really good. So what we learned from this podcast so far is that, you know, we all endure hardship.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, the saved of the saved, you know,
The holier,
the holier, however you feel about yourself. And just regular old sinners, and you know, people in between in that gray area, whatever. You know, we all experience hardship. Nobody is exempt from hardship, whether you walk with Christ or whether you don't. We all go through things in life, so that's something to know. We also know that it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
And we also know that we can't allow the pride in our ego to stop us from asking for help, because we never know who God is going to use to bless us. And you know, if we don't ask, we won't receive. The Bible tells us, ask and you shall receive. So open up your mouth and say something, and then learning lessons in the hardship, because the hardship has purpose.
Yeah, I'll say it definitely has purpose. I feel like it also helps build character.
Yeah.
It makes you appreciate certain things more than just doing the regular every day.
Yeah. And we got to be appreciative. Like, gratitude is everything. I thank God now for the little things, because I know there's been times when I didn't have nothing. And so now it's like, well, thank you, God, for, you know, it might not be the what I want yet, but I'm thankful for what I have, because it could have been another way, you know, and it could still be another way if he decides to. So just being appreciative and being grateful for, you know, the activity of your limbs, a roof over your head, clothes on your back, shoes on your feet, food on the table. You may not have the car you want, but thank God you have one. You may not have whatever the career you want, but thank God you have a way to provide for your family, like whatever it is. And so just having the posture and the heart posture of gratitude is important. It's important, and I believe that God wants to do great things in our life, but we have to appreciate the journey. I feel like before we close this out, I found myself a lot of times in life wanting to get to the next thing, like wanting to get to the next best goal, wanting to hit the next best, you know, whatever this future plan for my life, instead of just appreciating the journey along the way. And so when we have our minds so fixed on the future, I think it takes away the journey of just today, because today is,
so.
you know, today is a gift.
Because I overthink. Everything is an overthink for me. Literally.
What you be overthinking?
Everything.
I'm not laughing at you. What do you be overthinking though? Because you're just like, everything is overthinking.
Like, I overthink everything. It doesn't matter what situation. I overthink everything.
Why? Because you expect it to fail?
Yes. Like, I would say, I would say it doesn't matter if it's a person, place, or thing. I expect I expect everything to let me down in some shape, form, or fashion.
That's trauma.
That's literally how I think.
That's trauma. So can you think back to where were you let down?
Multiple places. Like multiple
like
avenues in my life. Even from a little girl.
So it had to stem from a little girl. And so it just, from being let down as a little girl, it just kind of spilled over into now everything that you just expect the worst to go wrong. That's what it sounds like.
I expect it to go wrong before something goes right.
Yeah, that's definitely some childhood stuff. Trauma. It's trauma because, you know, like how we, I forgot what I said. How we the things we experience in life determines how we perceive things. So that just
we were
explains.
Talking about that with Essence on Sunday.
Yeah. So like if you experience something, you're gonna think, oh, everything is gonna be like this. Everything is gonna be a bad outcome because. But I believe if we get healed from it, and I believe if we allow God into that space, and He feel that void, and He feel that hurt.
Why are you finna laugh?
And He feel that trauma. I'm not laughing.
You're smiling.
I'm always smiling. I always smile. Don't always smile. Girl, you know I smile all the time like that.
Okay.
So I just believe, if when we allow God into that space to heal us, to make us new, and to fill that void of hurt, pain, and letdown that we experience, then that perception will change, and then we won't overthink. Right? We're gonna have to come back for a part 2, y'all. Cause it's getting a little lengthy. It's getting a little lengthy, and I don't wanna drag it. But this has been good conversation.
It has. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Even though you made me do it. That's what big sisters do. They push you into greatness. Because God got so much in store for you. And I'm excited to see it. In Jesus' name.
In my new life. I'm starting over all over again. But it's cool.
That's all right. That's all right. Ain't nothing like a fresh start. Girl, I love a fresh start. I love a fresh start, don't I? But no, y'all. Yes, I do, honey. I will fresh start quick. But y'all, I'm so glad that y'all decided to tune in to another episode of Outside the Box with me, Mary Hooks, and our very special guest, Renee. And so if you have any topics that you would like, hey, maybe me and Renee to discuss, or me to discuss by myself, feel free to send me an email, maryhooks.info@gmail.com. Please put on the subject line podcast. That way it just helps me feed through the email a little faster. Subscribe to my channel. If you're on Spotify, go ahead and subscribe, follow. Apple Music, subscribe, follow, all the things. Stay tuned. Turn your notifications on so you'll be notified of every video we upload, every episode that I drop, because you don't want to miss out, and you don't want to miss if I touch on your topic. So, y'all be encouraged. Until next time, peace out.